Hello and welcome to another Tabletop Games blog Saturday review.
The room was buzzing. Paintings of different sizes and in different styles were filling the walls, all beautifully lit to bring out every detail and make them really shine. People were mingling and chatting, waving their champagne glasses around as they were discussing the style, composition, and imagination displayed in the variety of art. Suddenly, it went silent and everyone turned their attention to the gallery owner in the middle of the room. It was time to choose the best piece of art on canvas by Infamy Games. There are a lot of creative people and painting is a popular pastime. I've tried it myself, but oil or acrylic is quite a difficult medium to master. I'm more adept with a ballpoint pen, sketching a landscape in black and white. So a game where you try and create a unique and imaginative painting is going to appeal to a lot of people, myself included. Canvas comes with a big stack of transparent cards, each of which have an element of an image printed on them. You can overlay these cards to create different compositions and combine them with a colourful background to create a complete painting. The possibilities are almost endless. Before you even start to play, everyone just wants to keep making their own piece of art. Taking a background card with blocks of shades of purple, add a balloon, some raindrops, and a city skyline, and hey presto, your own modern artwork has been created. Of course, in the game itself, it's not quite as simple as that. It's not like you can just choose your favourite combination. Instead, you're trying to fulfill certain objectives. The more objectives you can meet with each picture you create, the more rosettes you get, which are converted into points at the end of the game. These objectives come from a relatively large deck of cards and include scoring a painting based on variety, composition, emphasis, or repetition. Intuitively, you think that a painting with multiple elements of the same type should score high for repetition. So you look for as many overlays as possible that have a toy in it, maybe. Or you think that composition is about having good spacing and a good layout of elements in your final painting. However, these objectives are a lot more basic than that. At the bottom of every transparent overlay, there are a certain number and type of symbols. As you stack these overlays on top of each other, some symbols will get covered up, and while others get added. To create a picture, you overlay exactly 3 transparent cards, and if you end up with the right combination of symbols, you score 1 or more of the objectives. It feels rather abstract, unfortunately, because all you're doing is looking for a certain number of triangles, or exactly 1 color wheel, or maybe 1 hashed square, a sun symbol, a color wheel, and a triangle. Ideally, you want 1 of each, but also 2 triangles so you can score multiple objectives at the same time. What starts out as a fun game where you try and create 3 beautiful or interesting paintings ends up being a brain-burning exercise in finding the right combination of symbols from the available overlays, so that you get as many rosettes as possible. Within 2 or 3 games, you stop looking at the art and only focus on the symbols at the bottom. The game tries to keep you thinking about and looking at the final piece of art by asking you to read out the title of the painting that you have made, which is also created through the overlays. But really all you want to do is score the painting to see how many rosettes you are due. It's a real shame because Canvas had so much potential. When I first saw the Kickstarter campaign, my imagination was going into overdrive. I was really looking forward to a game where you're encouraged to create beautiful artwork using transparent overlays that give you endless possibilities. Yet that's not the case here. The spell of Canvas is quickly broken, and all you worry about is trying to get the right overlays to create the right combination of symbols to score the most points. It's doubly disappointing because the artwork in Canvas is really beautiful. A lot of thought has gone into selecting the right sort of elements that allow you to create imaginative paintings. The abstract backgrounds add another layer that encourages you to play around with the overlay cards and background cards. Trying to make an imaginative painting out of the overlays is a lot of fun. Flicking through the overlay cards is enchanting. You have so many different elements and there are so many different paintings you could make. Yet it's almost more fun just making pictures rather than actually playing the game. Saying that, I did enjoy playing it and I will play it again. However, I now see Canvas as more of an abstract puzzle game and not a game of imagination and creativity. It is very clever how the symbols on the overlays work. It's not easy to get the right combination for the scoring objective. It's clear that a lot of thought has been put into the arrangement of the symbols. Depending on how the overlays come out, it will sometimes curse that you just can't score anything, while other times it seems almost too easy to achieve the objectives laid out in front of you. So if you want a brain teaser that's not too taxing but will still keep you thinking, then Canvas is definitely for you.
Thank you for listening to this Tabletop Games blog Saturday review podcast. Please check the description below for links mentioned in this episode, as well as to the written version of this article on the blog. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, give us some stars or leave a review. Please also tell your friends about me, and if you want to offer financial support, check out my Patreon and Ko-fi pages, links to which you'll find in the blog at tabletopgamesblog.com. So thank you again for listening, and I hope to see you again soon. This podcast was made possible by the generous help of my Patreon supporters. Royal Patron Sean Newman, Castle Guards David Miller and James Naylor, Dice Masters Alex Bardi, Paul Grogan and Robin Kay, and Shining Lights Gavin Jones, Sarah Reed, Richard Simpson and Tim Vernick.